Oh, so we talking next level. Copy.
Jesus, Jesus, I know the devil defeated, ayy, yeah, I know the devil defeated, ayy, Jesus, Jesus, I know the devil defeated, ayy, let's go, hey, Jesus, Jesus, you the reason that I'm breathing, ayy, ayy, Jesus, Jesus, I know you with me and you never leaving, ayy, Jesus, Jesus, I know the devil defeated, ayy, ayy, Jesus, Jesus, I know the devil defeated. I know he's God cause he really died and he came alive again. He did. And I know he's God cause he really died and he came alive again. And the devil, he's under our feet, so you know we on top of him. And I know the enemy watching, like, I'm tired of them. But you know that we gon' slide again. All of my brothers outside again. We live our life for Jesus.
At the age of 12, I was already selling drugs, literally, in junior high school, selling weed to other junior high schoolers. It started off, I feel like, right there, you know, we were so young, and I even had friends my same age, 12, 13, and they was already selling crack. I feel like just by the environment that we was in and, you know, like the influence, and we were so young, it's like we didn't even know what to do with the fast money. I remember literally we would go to the firecracker spot and buy a bunch of firecrackers. It was this little house on a hill. I remember over on 167, when you would walk in, there was different type of fireworks in every room, and we would literally be out there hustling and go splurge like $200, $300, $400 a day on firecrackers. It was a different type of summer. It was different, you know. I remember 12, 13, 14 being in gangs. Like, me and my friends, we like created our own gang basically. Like, and at that time it was this little thing called Dipset that was kind of popping, running around wearing pink flags and AKA blood. And so just from a young age, I was in that type of environment in High Bridge. And you know how they say you're a product of your environment. That's that's what I was exposed to. I really feel like from that moment, things was different. I caught my first charge when I was 14, still an adolescent, gang assault. It's me and my friends running around doing gang things and honestly just randomly causing violence for no reason at all. It was actually an initiation for someone else. We were running like 20, 30 deep, and to get into the gang, you have to cause violence. So it was somebody's turn to do that, and next thing you know, whoop, whoop, police pulled up, and dude in the back car pointed us out. There you go, first charge in juvie. It was so crazy that I literally still had on my high school uniform. So I went through the system, fresh out of school, went to go do something, and now here I am spending a weekend in juvie. So after that little stint, it was pretty much just the streets from there, just watching and learning a lot of things. In a matter of, I think like 3-4 years later, I caught another charge, robbery. This time around, it's not the little leagues no more. I went to the island, what they call adolescents, which was like different, really, really different environment, man. It's, you talk about not being safe. You really, you think you're not safe out here in the streets. It's a different type of time in there. It's literally like, they say that the house was run by the inmates, literally, these are little kids. I believe up to like when you're 18 or 19 is when you start going with the adults, and they are reckless. Like, it's a different type of vibe, man. And it's like every little moment, it's a fight, it's a slashing, it's just something to where the house is continuously being shut down. When I say the houses, I mean the units. It's like 50 people in each unit. It's just a whole different type of time. And I ended up doing 6 months. Actually, this was the time where I was really in and out of jail, in and out, in and out. So at first I caught the charge, went to see the judge, and they let me go for probation right then and there. And they told me, if you mess up, you're gonna be back. He said, if you mess up, I'm gonna send you upstate for one and I believe it was 1 1/4 of a year to 4 years. That's the sentence that it was span. So I feel like it was really a setup. You know what I mean? That's how the system would do you. They're like, yeah, I'm gonna release him back into society at this young age, knowing that he's probably gonna mess up again, with the repercussion of, if you don't complete this probation, then you're gonna have to come back and do pretty much 1 to 4 years in prison. 1 to 4 years means at 1 year, you see the parole board. If they feel like they want to let you go, they can. Or if not, they'll send you back to serve the maximum sentence of 4 years. So that's what happened pretty much with that. After that charge, I was actually going back and forth to court. It wasn't just like a solidified thing right then and there. So I did about 6 months and came home, went right back to jail again, because it's, I feel like it's really a setup. When they put you on parole and things like probation, it sounds like it's a good thing, but it's really kind of like prison outside or jail outside. You're still on a leash, and it's still do this and do that, or we're gonna make you do this and do that. So yeah, I came home messed up again. Now I ended up serving another 9 months, because I ended up having to do that 1 1/3 of a year, I believe it was, to 4-year sentence. They let me go home on probation, thank God, at that 1 1/3 of a year. So in total, that was like 9 plus 6. I ended up doing that 15 months, and I went home on probation. So it was kind of like an in and out thing for multiple years, man. I spent my 18th, my 19th, my 20th, then my 21st birthday, all locked up. Like, so I didn't really get that experience like your average kid of being out and, yeah, it's my 18th B-Day. I'm feeling like an adult, you know what I mean? And then 21, like, yay, nah, I was in jail. During those times, I didn't really get to experience that. A lot of my youth was spent, either in the streets or in the system. Within that time span, I dropped out of school, actually got my GED on the island. It was really that real. So yeah, I'm home and I'm on parole. I just did 16 months and now I'm on parole for the rest of that to 4-year sentence. So I had about like 2 and some change to do on parole. I was only home for about 11 months, and now I'm a little bit older. I think I'm probably like around 19 maybe. So I'm drinking heavy, trapping. That was like a time where I really started poisoning my community, as I would say now, and it was different. I was really going down a dark path in my life at that time. I wasn't all the way there yet, but it was getting real, because at that age we older now, and the streets ain't no peaches and cream, especially in High Bridge. Like it's a lot of violence and a lot of stuff going down if you're in those wrong circles. So around this time, I'm still on parole. I'm out smoking, drinking, and trapping, and it was a lot going down. I'm not gonna go into full detail, but it was a lot going on. I was literally about to purchase a pistol, so I can protect myself, because it's a lot of testing, and it's a lot of, as I would see it now, warfare. Like, you're really in the kingdom of darkness. So I ended up actually getting locked up again. This time they was charging me with attempted murder, assault in the first degree. That's pretty much what it is. And for that, you facing like, I think 10 years and up for that type of charge, or at least 5 and up. I'm counting parole in it and everything, but I ended up doing about 2.5 years this time. And I feel like I kind of like needed it, because it was a really different type of time. And this is actually 10 years ago. So this is like my 10-year mark. Around the same time, March, things were getting really different. And I feel like me going to prison actually saved my life. I would have literally, I really know, I would have either ended up going to jail for something way more serious, or I probably would have died and lost my life. So while it was a bad thing, because of course prison isn't easy, right? I feel like it was also a good thing, man. It saved my life. It took me out of the streets. Now I had 2.5 years to really sit, not in and out, straight, to really sit and just evaluate my life, man. And that time wasn't easy either. A lot of torment in my mind, and it's just like, it's different now. I'm like, wow, I'm really back in this. I remember me being in and out of jail. My uncle would always say, no jail money, no bail money. You better stay out here, because we ain't gonna keep doing this. And I ain't gonna lie, the first couple of times, that first 16 months I did, like, I was good. Commissary every week, and things were okay. You know what I mean? I was comfortable with that, so to speak. So second time around, I really felt that. No jail money, no bail money. You want to keep doing this? All right, cool. So this time around, things were a little bit different. So long story short, in jail in Rikers Island, when you get into fights and just get found with contraband, as they call it, you get what's called infractions. And for those infractions, it's kind of like you go into court inside of jail, so to speak. And if found guilty for it, you get what's called box time. So what does that look like? That looks like 23-hour lockdown, confined to one cell. You only come out for an hour of rec time, if they feel like it. And that rec time, you pretty much in another cell just outside, which is in a cage, getting fresh air. Or you come out to go to the shower. But other than that, it's 23-hour lockdown, confined to your one cell. So when I came back to jail the last time, for the last bid, I owed like months of box time. So I'm coming back from the street. I was probably like in population for like a week, and then immediately they snatched me up like, oh, you back? Yes. Going ahead and serve this box time. So here I am, stressing, nothing but thoughts to myself, and like, I'm not even around other people for a couple of months. So I really just had that time to sit with myself, and I'm going through it. I'm going to court. They're not even giving me no offers or nothing like that. And I had a public attorney, for public defense attorney. So, they just want me to plead guilty anyway. Couldn't afford no paid lawyer to, help me out and get me to talk my right mind and try to take a plea anyway. But yeah, man, I'm going through it during this time, man. It's crazy because God really shows up in the midst of a storm regardless. I remember I was in there. I was actually, when I first went to the housing unit for the box, as they call it, 23-hour lockdown, my bro Z saw me, and he's actually serving life right now with no possibility of parole. He saw me and like, yo, what up, da da da. And without me even asking, he sent me what's called like a little care package, like a couple of t-shirts, a couple of books, magazines, soap, deodorant, like to myself. If you pretty, like, I don't want to say cool with the COs, but you know what I mean? Some of them are down to earth and some of them will help you out. So he sent it with a CO to my cell, and here it is. At that time, he was still fighting his case. He was on the island for about, I think, like 4 or 5 years, which is like really unheard of, fighting your case for that long on the island. But here it is, God using a brother in that type of situation. He know me from the streets and know me from the town, as they call it when you're in jail, blessing me with something in a time of need, like literally. If you make your bed in hell, he's there. So I just wanted to give God the glory for that moment. You know what I mean? So here I am, man. I'm just serving this 28 months. And a lot is going on in this time. And, you know, I'm trying to stay sane. And I didn't really have it all. It was a lot of countless nights, counting the days and days. Like, I want to go home every single day. For about 1,000 days, I had that thought. I want to go home. I want to see my family. I just want to hug my pops again. I just want to see my moms again. Like, every single day. And they wonder why some people literally lose their minds in there. You in a whole different world. You got COs telling you what to do, when to do it, and how to do it. Upstate is a whole different ball game. It's literally racism and it's literally slavery. White COs just treating you like you dirt in certain prisons, man, and it's different. I could go on and on, but I truly feel like you wouldn't understand it unless you went through it, unless you really endured it, unless you were actually there. But man, it was a different type of time, man. And I thank God for my wife, man, honestly, because she didn't even know what I was enduring. And I wasn't really in contact with too many people, honestly. You know, my mom, my pops, a couple of my bros. But then it was my wife who literally wrote me more than anybody. And I feel like that was God working through her to keep my mind on intact. You know what I mean? And she didn't even know probably what she was doing at the time. But God knew. God knew exactly what was going on. And, you know, that was where things get brighter. Something to look forward to, man. And so I went through all that in 2014. I was released on parole, and I was like, I will never, ever, ever, I will never, ever go back to jail. I will never, ever go back to prison. It's just not happening. That's not for me. So a lot of my youth, I was in the streets, in and out of jail. But God saved me. But God saw me in all of that and said, that's my son, who I'm going to use for my will to be done and my kingdom to come on earth as it is in heaven. It was God who pulled me through times where I literally was almost going to lose my mind. And he's sending people to my cell to tell me about God and tell me about Jesus. he was there through it all, man. It's a lot more. And when you ask me, what's next level? Next level is coming out of that, successfully completed parole in 2016. I went to college. Man, I've actually found out what I want to do with my life. I gave my life to Christ. Started to realize who I am, that I have a purpose, that God wants to use me to do great and mighty things. Getting married, having a child, starting a business, and, leading others to do the same thing, becoming a leader in the church. I was once a gang leader. Now I'm a church leader. I'm a kingdom leader. I'm a living epistle read of men. This is me. This is next level.
Who the one that's setting people free? Jesus. Who the one that's still saving souls? Jesus. Who the one that gave me a new heart? Who the one that took me out the dark? Jesus. They like how you stopped smoking weed. Jesus. They like how you got up out that trap. Jesus. They like how you stopped having sex. Jesus. If you want a whole new life, call Jesus. I'ma keep speaking about my God, ain't no stopping.